Well, February was always going to be a very, very important month for me personally, both in my work but also on the bank as well. I haven't fished a match in 4 weeks, and that's because I've been spending all my spare time this month away from the bank actually working on projects at home, and these are projects that are going to allow me to do a lot more fishing later on this year and in future years, and it's going to allow me to do a lot more filming, producing videos, and it's also going to allow me to spend a lot more time fishing matches and much more flexibility as regards the events that I choose to be part of. But I can tell you a little bit more about that later on. The biggest trip and the biggest deal for February was always going to be the World Feeder Fishing Championships, and this year they were in South Africa. Well, South Africa was always going to be a fantastic trip. We flew from Heathrow Airport direct to Johannesburg, but then it was a 4-hour drive from Johannesburg to the actual digs and to the venue. It was always going to be a test. England had been on this venue 5 years ago. I think it was 2013 they were there when South Africa won the event. So the English lads had obviously already got a feel for the venue. This was the first World Championships with a new manager. Tom Pickering had stepped down a few months ago, and Dean Barlow is now in charge of the team and the squad. And so he went out there a little bit earlier with the 6 lads that were going to be fishing, just so he could have some time to kind of gel with the team and get a feel for the venue before the rest of us flew out. We flew out on the Saturday, and there was myself, Jeff Ringer, Big Steve Wielden and Ernie Viles. We flew out on the Saturday, and that meant that we were going to be there for training week. It was just you can imagine what kind of trip this is like. You know, obviously the venue was right in the middle of a reserve, a nature reserve, so obviously we were seeing the animals coming and going every day. We were actually driving for about 40 minutes through this reserve just to get to the venue. When we arrived there, it was red hot. It was 30 odd degrees. It had been hot the previous days as well before we got there, but we did get some storms and things over through probably 2 or 3 of the nights and a couple of the days as well, and it really made it difficult for some of us to get to the venue. It was only down to Big Steve Wilden's rally driving prowess that got us to the venue a couple of times. The roads were a little bit, well, they were tracks to be honest, and we were almost racing to the venue, but that was all added to the experience. Bit of trouble getting that one out. Woo!
I was going down there and you said no, straight on.
Training week for me was obviously, like I say, I wasn't fishing the World Championships, so I was just kind of there to run the bank and assist the Dean and the team in any way that I can. This is probably my 6th World Championship, I think it is, that I've been on. And I've been official bank runner on all of them, and it's not just about the fishing, these sorts of trips, it's about managing your health as well. It was 35 degrees most of the time. You've got to have all your jabs and stuff before you went because of malaria and all this sort of stuff. So it really, this kind of a trip is, it's a completely different ball game from when the championships are being held in Europe. During training week, it was just kind of my job just to keep my eye on 1-2 of the teams. We knew who we thought the favourites were going to be. Obviously the South Africans, Hungary, the Dutch, Italy, Spain. We were watching all the teams through training week. Obviously the lads had got a job to do on the box, and Dean had got a job to manage the lads and find out the tactics that were working and weren't working, and he'd obviously got a job of selecting a team through that week as well. So whilst they were all doing that, myself and the other lads were away watching the other teams, just kind of making notes about where they were catching fish, what they were trying, how they were fishing, and if we spotted anything that could obviously be an advantage to us. Most of you probably know the result already now anyway. Massive congratulations to Hungary for winning the competition. England finished in 4th, just missing out on a medal. Very, very disappointing. It's a long way to go, to travel, lots of time, money and effort to come away without a medal. But the lads gave it everything, they gave it 100% every day. And I think they were a little bit unlucky in 1 or 2 areas. I was assigned Waco, Adam Wakeling, I ran the bank for him both Saturday and Sunday, and ironically, I don't know if this has ever happened before because I don't know how the systems always work, but he actually drew the same peg both days. Absolute incredible. And you know, he was very unlucky with the draw there really, because both ends of the section fished pretty good, and where he was in the middle, it just, you know, there was a string of poor weights there. But like I say, it was a fantastic experience. And you know, I know for a fact that the lads will be back even bigger and stronger next year. Next year it's in Brittany, in France. I think I will be there. I don't really know, you know, it's a long time ahead, but if I am there, then obviously, you know, I'm sure it'll be a fantastic experience again. Because this World Championships has been so early, i.e. February, it means obviously that next year's is quite a while away. You know, it might be 14, 16 months away. So I'm sure the lads will be having a look at the venue, with it only being quite local, or relatively local in World Championship terms, to England. I'm sure the lads will be going and doing quite a bit of research on the venue. So yeah, it'll be a very, very interesting championship, I'm sure. As a whole, for me, as a non-angler, it was a great trip. The digs were fantastic. We stayed at the River Lodge, and you know, like I said, we had a mixture of weather, but the lodge was fantastic there. It backs onto the river. That is the river that comes out from the dam, which was just a few hundred yards up to the left. And yeah, there were catfish in the river as well, some small carp as well, some grass carp, and the lads even got a chance to do a little bit of fishing as well before official training week started on an evening, after the training sessions. So yeah, they caught some catfish as well. It was just, it's a great opportunity to see all the lads just kind of gel, because that's what they've got to do in that kind of event. These lads are fishing against each other week in, week out, back at home in England, obviously in individual competitions, and they want to beat each other, of course they do. But it's fantastic to see them for that 2 weeks, for that period each year, where they just pull everything, all the little bits of knowledge, the tricks, the skills, what they've learned. They all sit around the table, throw everything into the pot, because they all want to come away with that gold medal. How's Australia gone on?
Oh, not too bad, but better than yesterday, hopefully.
And I can't sign off really talking about the championships without saying a huge thank you to everybody who just came over and said hello. It really opened my eyes, and it's sometimes easy to forget that these videos go all over the world, and events like that are great opportunities to shake the hand and meet a lot of the people that watch these videos. So thank you so much for my gifts as well. We were given some really nice gifts. The hospitality was fantastic. Everybody looked after us, and I'm pretty sure through speaking to the South African officials that they will be hosting at least one more World Championship, so it'll be another wonderful experience if we ever go back there. Well, I had to go back to work the very next day. I was only there 4 days at work, and then it was time for the weekend again, and it was time for one of my favourite weekends of the year, and that was a trip over the Pennines to the Northern Angling Show. I'm incredibly fortunate to be backed by Matrix, and part of my deal is that I need to spend a number of days throughout the year just kind of doing work for Matrix, whether it be a feature on the bank or shooting videos. Today I'm heading over the Pennines to Manchester, where this weekend I'll be attending the Northern Angling Show. It's not a long journey for me, it's only about 45 miles from where I live in Sheffield, so I'm just heading over the Pennines now. I'm going to be attending the show both days, which is Saturday and Sunday, so I'll be stopping in Manchester on Saturday night, and over the 2 days there will be a number of Matrix anglers who won't be there both days, but some of them will be attending Saturday, some Sunday, and it's just a great opportunity to meet a lot of the anglers that want to come along, see the show and have a look at what products we've got on display.
always like to have a presence here at the Northern Angling Show. It's been a cracking show yet again. This has been our home for 2 days. We haven't come up here with lots of the products like we have done in the past, but what we have got are the latest 4 versions of our poles that have just come out, the MTX range that I'm sure a lot of you have heard about. So, who better to talk you through the range than none other than our very own Mark Pollard. Mark.
There you go.
There we go, mate.
Right, we've got 4 poles in the range. We've got what I'd call a starter pole, but to be honest, that starter pole at 13 metre and the package that it comes with would be one of the top range poles probably 6-7 years ago. Is a cracking pole. And price range, £500, £800, £1,300, and the top of the range, which is £3 grand. And which most poles now, 3.5 top of the range. But the MTX3, what a pole for 1,300 quid. And the package is unbelievable. 7 kits, you get a coupling kit with it. 2 little mini extensions, because obviously with poles when they're measured, people want to know the full length of them. And air poles with a mini extension all become 30 metre poles, and you have a second mini extension that goes from the 14.5 to the 16, which makes them a true 14.5 and a true 16 metre pole. I'll just get a... I've got the number 3s together, as you can see there, the same length as a pole cut when you're cupping in, and the actual top kits come already bushed, so you haven't got to put a PTFE bush in, and if I come further down here, they come fitted already with a puller system. One that's fitted, it's got a lovely little wheel in there, the elastic just rolls on. Lovely, lovely glide, comes out there so smooth.
Thanks for that, Mark. Had so much interest in these poles. They've had a lot of publicity over the last few weeks, you know, and you know it's by far been the busiest one of the pole alleys. Anyway, it's been great for everyone who came along just to come and have a look at them. Thank you for coming and saying hello. It's been a cracking weekend.
It's been good.
Yeah, it's been very, very good. So thanks to everyone who came to see us. If you want more information about these, obviously you can go to the Fish Matrix website. I'll put the link below for you. But yeah, it's been another fantastic show. Woo.
Well, this month, as I mentioned earlier, I've been spending a great deal of time sat here working. The projects I'm working on are obviously video based, that I'm sure a lot of you will have already guessed, and a lot of them obviously revolve around my own channel, which is the Catch Fishing channel on YouTube. I've produced about 240 videos on that channel now, obviously all fishing related. A lot of them are from this tattle room, and a lot of them are from the bank, and a lot of them are live match videos. What I've been working on is finding ways of stepping up production of those videos, making the quality better, but also making up the process a lot quicker as well. One of the things that people, you know, do ask me about, but people don't know about, is the kind of stuff that I do behind the scenes as regards putting these videos together. Everything I do in my match fishing is all about fishing. It's about winning the match, and that must come first for me. So for me to film any sort of a live match or do any sort of filming about the matches that I'm in has to come second to the match. You know, the match always comes first. Again, that's part of the reason why I very rarely, or I don't think I've ever filmed a team match. And that's purely because, you know, I don't want my teammates thinking that I'm not giving 100% to that match. You know, I wouldn't want to be in that position, and I don't want them thinking that, and you know, that's just my way of committing to them for the team. So the matches that I have filmed are ones are individual competitions. A lot of the behind the scenes kind of stuff about putting the videos together is what, you know, people quite often ask me about. So I'm going to take a little bit of time out now just to show you the kind of kit that I use when I'm on the bank, because I know there's more and more people wanting to produce their own videos, and I'm finding ways of stepping this up and making it quicker so I can upload more videos more often. Okay, so the whole amount of kit that I carry is in there, in this little bag here. That is obviously dead easy to carry. It goes in my carry-all, and in here are all the bits and bobs that I need for when I go out filming particularly the live matches. In here it's the GoPro Session that I use, and I carry 2 with me, okay? That's the little baby if you haven't seen it before. It's an incredibly flexible and easy to use camera. It's literally a point and shoot. You just press a button, it starts filming. You press it again, it stops filming. Obviously there are different settings in there that you can, obviously get more detailed as regards the exposure and the frame rate and all that sort of stuff. Obviously that's a lot more technical, but these are just so easy to carry on matches, purely because that's actually in its case. The actual camera itself is obviously smaller, and that is it. One tiny little cube like that. Now this is waterproof down to 10 meters. So if you are filming and it starts raining, and that sort of thing, you don't have to worry about it. It's completely waterproof. It's a nice little beep for when it comes on. Press it once. Nice little beep. The red light flashes to show that it's actually recording. Tiny little display there which shows you, how long it's been filming for and all that kind of stuff. And then just press it again, just once, and it beeps to tell you it's gone off. Really dead simple to use. Obviously there are different settings, you can get more in depth with it obviously, but as you can see that's dead easy. You can put that anywhere on your bait tray, anywhere you want, and these cameras obviously come with, and you can buy extras, brackets and things to put onto your bait tray. I've also got, like I say, I carry 2 of those cameras. And there is also a remote control you can get for them as well. And I know a lot of people ask about this. That basically is a remote control that you can connect to any one of those cameras. So you can literally set that camera just a little bit further away from you, out of arm's reach, or further up the bank, or wherever, in a tree, wherever you want. And you can just basically press that to set that to start it recording whenever you want it to, and just press it again and that will stop. And you can also, there is also a setting on there which will allow you to take a photograph from that as well, remotely. So that little bit of kit there, I think that was about £55 I think when I bought it, and that allows you to get shots from much further away, different angles, and it gives you enormous flexibility. And then in this bag, the only things I've got a couple of grips. These are the Gorilla type grips, and they mould around anything. The red bits there are magnetic, so you can stick them to whatever you want. Obviously it's metallic, so just an array really in that little bag of different ways of filming your matches. But what about the footage? People ask me all the time about this, because this is the bit no one sees. Like I say, these are waterproof down to 10 meters, and that little trigger button there opens the flap up there, and that is where the SD card is. That's where the memory card is, okay? So the first thing I do when I get back from fishing is I come over to the computer, just while I'm putting my gear away and all that sort of thing. I can simply take and remove that card out, and that I then use to transfer all that footage onto my computer. That obviously means then you've got all that footage actually here on the computer. As regards editing the videos that I put together, I use Final Cut Pro 10, and so all those video clips and footage is then transferred into the software within Final Cut Pro. That is where I will put it all together. That can take a long time, it can take a short time. It depends how much time you want to spend editing, and that's when you can alter everything. You can cut the clips, change the lighting, sound, all that sort of thing, and I'll put that together in a film, in a video, actually in Final Cut, and that's where you can add music to it as well, and any other sort of graphics or animations you want to add into it. Then what I then do, there is a process I can set on here which will then compress it, so that makes it into a smaller file. That smaller file will make it a lot easier then to upload directly to YouTube. Now that whole process, it really depends on how long you actually the video is. Alright, so it depends on the equipment that you're using, your internet connection and all that sort of thing. Some videos might take up to 3 hours to upload, depending on the length of the video. Some could only take 5 minutes. It really depends on the length of the video, and also what the content of the video is as well. So if there's lots and lots of different fragments in there, it can take longer, but like I say, a lot of that is down to your internet connection. That really is what I do, and I store them all on hard drives. These are just external hard drives, so all the videos I like to save because they're nice to refer back to, and if you want to refer back to them, you've got the clips there, you can just take them out, put them back into editor and just use them in different ways. So it's nice to have them all stored on external hard drives. I use everything I've got is a MacBook Pro. That's what I use for everything. The speed of that is fantastic. But what I will do in next month's video, I'll actually show you out on the bank I'm going to be in 1 or 2 matches next month. So what I'll do is I'll take this kit along with me, and I'll just show you how I set them up on my bait tray and all that sort of thing, where I position them for a match. So hopefully some of you will find that interesting. So as you can see, I haven't even fished a match this month, but you can see how hectic it's been. That's what these videos are about, just a kind of behind the scenes look at what I've been up to through the month, whether it's on or off the bank. You're going to be hearing about a lot of the projects that I'm working on, and I hope they're going to be of a lot of interest to you, because I know a lot of you enjoy watching the videos and also contributing to them as well with ideas and that sort of thing. So I'll be looking forward to your feedback on all that. It's been a fantastic month. March is really going to get going again for me. I'm going to be focusing more on a local venue to me, which is Southfield Reservoir, and I'm also going to be off to the Iberian Masters in Spain. So thanks for logging on. I hope you've enjoyed this insight into what my life's been like on and off the bank, and I hope you'll join me next month for another roundup of what I've been up to.